If you are watching this tonight, I need you to pause for just a moment. Take a breath. Because something brought you here, and it was not chance. It was not an accident. It was not your thumb scrolling carelessly through an endless feed of videos until it landed on this one. No. Something deeper, something quieter than logic, something older than coincidence, guided you to this exact message at this exact hour of this exact night. And I want you to sit with that truth for a second. Because most people will never slow down long enough to notice when the universe is speaking directly to them. But you did. You're here. And that already tells me something about you. You're someone who is awake, even if you don't fully realize it yet. Tonight is different. You feel it, don't you? There's a stirring in your chest that you can't quite explain. Maybe you've been restless. Maybe you've been lying awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering why your mind won't settle. Maybe you've felt an ache that has no name, a longing for something you can't put into words. Or maybe, just maybe, you've noticed the numbers. The clock reading the same digits over and over. The same time appearing on receipts, on license plates, on phone notifications. If that's been happening to you, I want you to know that is not your imagination. That is not stress. That is not your brain playing tricks on you. That is communication. That is your angels, your guides, your higher self, the divine light that surrounds you, trying to get your attention because they have something important to say. And tonight, they finally have you listening. So many of us walk through our days numb to the signs around us. We rush from one task to the next, drowning in noise, distracted by screens, exhausted by responsibilities, and we forget to look up. We forget to notice the feather that lands at our feet for no reason. We forget to notice the song that plays at the exact moment we needed to hear those words. We forget to notice the stranger who says something so specific, so perfectly timed, that it couldn't have been random, and yet we brush past it, telling ourselves it was nothing. But deep inside, something always knows better. Deep inside, there is a part of you that has never stopped believing in magic, in meaning, in the idea that you are not alone in this universe, that you are being watched over, guided, loved by something far greater than what your eyes can see. Tonight, that part of you is awake, and it brought you here for a reason. I want to tell you something that might feel like it's just for you, because in a way, it is. The message you are about to receive was written with love, with intention, and it has been waiting for the right person to find it at the right moment. That person is you, tonight, right now, because what you are about to hear is not just words on a screen. It is a frequency, a vibration, a piece of light reaching across the distance between heaven and earth to remind you of something you have forgotten. You have forgotten how powerful you are. You have forgotten how deeply you are loved. You have forgotten that everything you have been going through, every tear you've cried in the dark, every doubt that has whispered you're not enough, every season of waiting that felt like it would never end, all of it has been leading you here to this exact moment of remembering. If you see this tonight, it means the veil between worlds is thin for you right now. It means your spirit is open, receptive, ready to receive guidance that your logical mind might have rejected on any other day. The angels know timing. They know when a soul is finally ready to hear the truth, and they have chosen tonight, for you, because something inside you cried out, maybe silently, maybe without even realizing it, for help, for clarity, for hope. And they heard you. They always hear you. Even when you feel like your prayers disappear into silence, even when you wonder if anyone up there is listening, I promise you, every whisper of your heart has been received. Nothing is ever lost. Nothing is ever ignored. You are far more important than you have allowed yourself to believe. Let me ask you something. Have you been feeling like you're falling behind in life? Like everyone around you is moving forward, getting married, building careers, buying homes, starting families, while you remain in this strange, uncomfortable in-between space, waiting for something to finally click into place? If that's you, I need you to hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, even if it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes the most beautiful chapters of our lives are quietly being written in the waiting rooms we hate the most. Sometimes the delay is not punishment. It is protection. It is preparation. It is the universe making sure that when your moment finally arrives, you will be ready to hold it, to keep it, to not lose it again. Think about the storms you've already survived. Think about the heartbreaks that once felt like they would end you, the losses that hollowed you out, the betrayals that made you question your own worth. And yet, here you are, breathing, watching this, still standing, even if some days it feels like you're standing on nothing but faith and stubborn hope. That is not weakness. That is not luck. That is grace. That is the hand of something divine holding you up when you didn't even have the strength to hold yourself. Tonight, I want you to release something. I want you to release the belief that you have to carry everything alone. I want you to release the exhausting habit of pretending you're fine when your soul has been quietly breaking. You don't have to perform strength for anyone watching tonight. You don't have to prove anything to the universe to be worthy of its blessings. You already are worthy. You were worthy before you accomplished anything, before you fixed yourself, before you became the better version of you that you keep chasing. You are worthy simply because you exist, because you were placed on this earth with a purpose only you can fulfill, and that purpose did not disappear just because life got hard. There's a reason certain numbers keep crossing your path. 1111, 333, 4, 44, appearing like little winks from the universe. These are not superstitions invented to comfort the lonely. They are confirmations. They are gentle taps on the shoulder saying, "You're on the right path, keep going, we're with you." If you've seen these numbers recently, especially tonight, take it as a sign that your prayers are being assembled into something beautiful, something that simply needs a little more time to take form. Divine timing is not cruel. It is precise. It knows exactly when every piece needs to fall into place so that nothing is wasted, so that every painful moment becomes part of a story too perfect to have been accidental. I also want to speak to the part of you that has been afraid to hope again. Maybe you've hoped before and been disappointed. Maybe you prayed for something with your whole heart and it didn't happen the way you wanted. And some part of you decided it was safer to stop hoping altogether, to expect less, to protect yourself from another letdown. I understand that fear. But hear me when I say this: closing your heart to hope does not protect you from pain. It only delays the joy that's been waiting for you. The same heart that breaks is the heart that heals. The same heart that hopes and gets disappointed is the heart capable of experiencing miracles beyond what you've ever imagined. Don't let fear convince you to abandon the very thing that keeps your spirit alive. Tonight is an invitation to soften, an invitation to trust again, even just a little, an invitation to believe that the same force that placed stars in the sky and breath in your lungs has not forgotten about you, has not moved on to someone else, has not given up on the dreams it planted inside you long before you were even born. You were chosen for this life, for this body, for this exact set of struggles and gifts, because no one else could carry what you carry the way you do. No one else could love the people you love the way you do. No one else could turn their pain into the kind of compassion you offer the world, often without even realizing how rare that is. If you are crying right now, let it happen. Tears are not a sign of weakness. They are proof that your heart is still soft enough to feel, still alive enough to hope, still brave enough to believe that something better is coming, even after everything you've been through. The angels are not here to judge your tears. They are here to collect them, gently, lovingly, the way a mother collects the tears of a child she would do anything to protect. There is more I need to share with you tonight. Things that will help you understand exactly why this message found you, what it means for the days ahead, and how to recognize when the universe is preparing you for a breakthrough you've been waiting on for a very long time. But before we continue, I want you to take a breath, place your hand gently over your heart, and simply say, even silently, "I am open, I am ready, I am listening. I am open, I am ready, I am listening." If you just whispered those words, even in your mind, I want you to know that something shifted the moment you said them. The angels do not need grand declarations or perfect prayers. They only need willingness. That small crack of openness you just created is enough for light to pour through. So let's continue, because there is so much more you need to hear tonight. I want to talk to you about the season you are in right now, because I believe it has felt longer and heavier than you expected. There is a kind of tiredness that doesn't come from lack of sleep. It comes from carrying invisible weight for too long. The weight of hoping quietly while pretending you're not. The weight of supporting everyone else while no one asks how you're really doing. The weight of smiling in photos while something inside you feels like it's slowly dimming. If this describes you, please hear this clearly. Your weariness is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you have been strong for far too long, without rest, without rescue, without someone reminding you that it is safe to set the burden down for a moment. Tonight, the angels want you to set it down. Not forever, just for tonight. Just long enough to remember who you are underneath all that responsibility. Underneath the roles you play, the titles you carry, the expectations placed on you by others and by yourself, there is a soul that is still soft, still curious, still capable of wonder. That soul has not disappeared. It has only been buried beneath survival. And survival, while necessary for a season, was never meant to be your permanent home. You were made for more than getting through the day. You were made to actually live it. I want you to think back to a version of yourself from years ago. Maybe a child, maybe a teenager, maybe a younger adult who still believed that life could be magical, that love could be real, that dreams were worth chasing. What happened to that version of you? Where did they go? I'll tell you where. They didn't vanish. They are still inside you, waiting patiently for the day you stop silencing them with logic and fear. Tonight, that part of you is stirring again, because the angels are calling it back to the surface. They are reminding you that joy is not childish. Hope is not naive. Wonder is not weakness. These are sacred parts of your spirit that the world tried to convince you to outgrow, but you were never meant to lose them completely. There's something else I need to tell you, something that might be the very reason this message reached you tonight. You have been praying for a sign, haven't you? Maybe not in words, maybe not on your knees with your hands folded, but in the quiet desperation of your heart, you have been asking, please, just show me I'm not crazy for still believing. Please, just show me this pain has meaning. Please, just show me you're still there. This is your sign. This message, reaching you at this exact hour, on this exact night, when you needed it most, this is not coincidence. This is the answer you've been asking for, wrapped in words instead of lightning, but no less divine, no less intentional, no less real. I also want to gently address something that may be sitting heavy on your heart. Guilt. So many people carry guilt for past decisions, for relationships that ended badly, for words they wish they could take back, for paths they didn't take, for people they couldn't save, including sometimes themselves. If guilt has been your quiet companion, I want you to release it tonight. Not because what happened didn't matter, but because you were doing the best you could with the understanding, the wounds, and the limitations you had at the time. You are not the same person who made those choices. You have grown, you have learned, you have softened in places that used to be hard and hardened in places that needed protection. Guilt keeps you chained to a version of yourself that no longer exists. The angels are not asking you to forget your past. They are asking you to forgive the person who lived through it, because she did her best, even when her best left scars. Let's talk about the people you've lost. Through death, through distance, through silence that was never explained. Grief is one of the heaviest things a soul can carry, and so many of us walk through life pretending it doesn't still ache, smiling through anniversaries and birthdays that quietly break our hearts. If you have lost someone you love deeply, I want you to know they are not as far away as the silence makes you feel. Love does not end when breath does. The connection between souls is not bound by bodies or distance or time. Sometimes they visit you in dreams that feel too real to be random. Sometimes they send a familiar scent out of nowhere, a song that was their song, a butterfly that lingers a little too long, a feeling of warmth in a room that was cold moments before. These are not your imagination comforting you. These are real visits, real proof that love survives everything, even death. Now I want to speak directly about your purpose, because I believe this is part of why tonight matters so much. You have likely wondered, more than once, why am I even here? What is the point of all this struggle? Why does it feel like I'm meant for something more, yet I can't seem to grasp what that something is? These questions are not signs of confusion. They are signs of a soul that has not yet stopped growing. The very fact that you ask these questions means your purpose has not finished unfolding. People who have truly lost their purpose stop asking. They go numb. But you're still searching, still hoping, still wondering. That searching is sacred. It means your story is still being written, and the next chapter may be closer than you think. Your purpose is not necessarily one single grand achievement. Sometimes, purpose looks like becoming the person who finally breaks a cycle of pain in your family. Sometimes it looks like being the safe place someone else never had growing up. Sometimes it looks like surviving something that should have destroyed you, simply so you could become proof to someone else that survival is possible. You may never fully see the ripple effects of your existence, but I promise you, your life has already mattered in ways you cannot measure. Someone, somewhere, has been touched by your kindness, inspired by your strength, comforted by your presence, even if they never told you so. I want to gently remind you that healing is not a straight line. You may feel like you take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, like old wounds reopen just when you thought you were finally okay. This does not mean you failed. Healing spirals, it circles back to old pain, but each time you revisit it, you do so with more wisdom, more compassion, more strength than before. So if tonight you find yourself crying over something you thought you had already healed from, please be gentle with yourself. You are not broken. You are simply human, walking the sacred, messy, nonlinear path back to wholeness. As we come to the end of this message, I want you to make a promise. Not to me, not to the angels, but to yourself. Promise that you will start paying attention to the signs around you, the repeating numbers, the unexpected songs, the strangers who say exactly what you needed to hear, the dreams that feel like visits, the sudden peace that washes over you in moments of chaos. These are not random. They never have been. They are love, finding its way to you in whatever form you are able to receive it. And if no one has told you this in a while, let me say it now. On behalf of everything good and divine, watching over you tonight, you are loved beyond what your mind can fully comprehend. You are seen, even on the days you feel invisible. You are heard, even when your prayers feel like whispers into silence. You are not forgotten, not abandoned, not too far gone to be saved or healed or made whole again. Whatever brought you to this exact video on this exact night was no accident. It was love reaching for you the way it always has, the way it always will. So breathe deeply now. Let your shoulders soften. Let your heart settle. And know, without a single doubt, that you were meant to see this tonight. Because you were never alone, you are not alone now, and you never will be again.